he was found where winter meets silence. On a freezing winter day, when the world seemed wrapped in white and time itself felt slowed by the cold, we discovered White lying motionless beneath a blanket of snow. He blended into the landscape so completely that he was almost invisible, as if the world had already begun to forget him. His body was still, his breathing shallow, and his eyes carried a quiet resignation, as though he had accepted that this might be the end. White had been struck by a car. The impact left him unable to move, and the bitter cold had seeped into his body for hours. Hunger and exhaustion had drained what little strength he had left. When we approached, he didn't cry out or resist. He simply looked at us, sadness and surrender reflected in his gaze. In that moment, we wondered, how much can a gentle soul endure before hope fades completely?
Будем перекладываться. Косит такой глазками своими, да?
We acted quickly. White was lifted carefully and rushed to the veterinary clinic, wrapped in warmth and whispered promises. At the clinic, the doctors moved with urgency. X-rays revealed devastating news. White had suffered a spinal fracture and was in critical condition. Without immediate surgery at a specialized hospital, he would never walk again. His life and his future hung by a fragile thread.
Не хочу при тебе ничего вообще. Непонятно, что скоро со мной делала.
Despite the pain, White showed remarkable calm. He lay quietly on the examination table, enduring every procedure without protest. There was something powerful in his stillness, as if he was holding on to a belief we couldn't yet see. A belief that this was not the end of his story. The emergency surgery was scheduled without delay. Hours felt like days as we waited, hearts heavy but hopeful. When the surgeon finally emerged with a gentle smile, we exhaled in relief. The operation had been successful. But everyone knew the truth. Surgery was only the beginning. The real challenge would be the long, uncertain road to recovery. The days after surgery demanded patience and unwavering commitment. White required constant care, pain management, careful monitoring, and complete rest. As his body stabilized, rehabilitation slowly began. Physical therapy sessions filled our days. Gentle exercises, supported movements, and endless encouragement became part of a new routine. Progress was slow, sometimes barely noticeable. There were moments when his legs responded weakly, moments when doubt crept in. Would he ever stand again? But no one gave up. Not the doctors, not the caregivers, and certainly not White. Every small improvement became a victory. A twitch of a paw, a shift of weight, a spark of awareness in his eyes. We spoke to him constantly, reassuring him that he wasn't alone.
Беляш, ну давай как-то поменьше страданий на мордочке. Прям вообще как будто я тут на...
White listened, his eyes following us with quiet trust. Somehow, he understood that these people had chosen him and would not leave. Weeks passed, marked by effort and determination. Then came the moment that took our breath away. One morning during therapy, White pushed himself up. His legs trembled, uncertain and fragile. But he stood, just for a moment.
Давай, поднимаемся тихонько, давай. Я помогу тебе встать, помогу. Вот. Держимся.
And then,
Молодец.
with gentle support, he took his very first steps. They were unsteady, imperfect, and absolutely miraculous. Tears filled the room. That single step carried weeks of pain, patience, and hope. White had defied the odds. From that day on, his recovery accelerated. With continued therapy and loving care, his strength returned steadily. His movements grew more confident. His posture changed. Where there had once been fear and fatigue, there was now curiosity. His tail began to wag again, not fast, not strong at first, but enough to remind us why we had fought so hard.
Давай через другой вход, пожалуйста. Пойдем, там есть другая дверь. Белый. Ну пошли. Ну пойдем. Пойдем, молодец.
Soon, White was healthy enough to leave the clinic.
Нас же потеряют там. Разгулялся, скажи, погода хорошая.
His journey led him to a new home filled with warmth, space, and kindness. There he discovered joy in the simplest things. Soft grass under his paws, open skies above his head, and the sound of laughter nearby. He ran again, slowly at first, then freely, as if his body remembered what his spirit never forgot.
Просто. Что за незнятина? Что за незнятина?
Today, White is thriving. He lives with a compassionate family who see him not as a survivor of tragedy, but as a symbol of resilience.
Да-да-да. Такая, которая сильно лезет, убрали. Сейчас пойдем, сейчас пойдем, сейчас. Он красавец какой.
From the edge of life to a future full of love, his transformation is nothing short of extraordinary. White's story reminds us that miracles are not always sudden. Sometimes they are built quietly through patience, care, and the refusal to give up.
Волчара, наш белоснежный волк. Красавчик. Беляшек, Беляш. Пообнимались с ним.
If this journey touched your heart, please share it with others. And tell us in the comments, do you believe love and perseverance can truly change a life?